Welcome to the Core A podcast. Today, my guest here is a regular, obviously. It's Kevin, burnout fighter Kim, and you are actually here to kind of talk a little bit about an interesting trip that you had.
Yes.
And
Also,
yeah.
the meaning of me being your guest means we don't have anyone special this week. Sorry,
Okay.
guys. But
Yeah.
no, but to be fair,
We have guests lined up. But,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're a special guest anyways. Mm-hmm. Or I guess maybe you'd be a regular guest. But so you just came back from Saudi Arabia, right?
Yes. And what would be the reason I went to Saudi Arabia? Everybody should be aware by now. It's been happening for the third year. Started off as the name called, was it Gamers 8? That was their
It started
test
off as
run.
Gamers 8, and that was kind of like the prototype for what's now known as Esports World Cup,
That's right.
EWC.
Yeah.
And this has been, this is kind of like, it's not just for fighting games, but it's kind of like an Olympics of esports, I guess, in a way. There's like a bunch of different games going on,
That's
and it's a
right.
very long period of time. And of course, we have friends in the StarCraft world that are close to us that have been going as well. And it's interesting because the schedules are kind of staggered. It's like, okay, it's like this game is now going on this weekend,
Yep.
and there's all sorts of events. And we even saw this was kind of crazy to see, but Magnus Carlsen was up there with Junting.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, okay.
That being chess is now esports as well, I guess, if
Yeah.
you play them on an electronic platform.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Magnus Carlsen made the argument that actually chess fits really well with the esports ecosystem because
I
they're
think I agree with that too. Yes.
they're
To be
all
fair,
mind games, right?
why not is the first question. And yeah, like you said, it is definitely something that I guess if you're physically fit, it does help. But it's majority of the case, it is a mind sport.
Yeah.
So chess and, like there's many other, I don't know what they actually defined as because they're not, board game is different. I mean, I guess they're board games, but at the same time, it's like it's more of they have the category of their own, I believe, like chess or, there's like the Asian version of it as well. But majority of the case, chess is widely known wherever you are. And it's one of those tabletop mind games that's been around for hundreds of years, still played to this day. Like you mentioned, some of the StarCraft friends we have, they love to play. Some of the FGC friends, they love to play chess as well as a side kind of thing. I think it does help with their, like the mentality, I guess. They have something that they share with the esport that they're currently professional at as well, I guess, in terms of mind games, like a training as if. The only difference is that fighting games is more of a real-time thing and chess is what? It is turn-based. That's the only kind of difference, I guess, they have in terms of if you were to put a comparison or a similarity. But alongside with that, the whole Esports World Cup thing, like the idea of the Esports Olympics has been talked about ever since the birth of esports. And it's been attempted many times, I believe.
Well, it's been at the actual Olympics. Olympics. I remember
Soon
they did.
it'll be,
They did
yeah.
StarCraft at the Olympics.
That's right, yeah.
But I think in Pyeongchang, it was. I think Scarlett, she won that tournament. It was weird to see this. Being a part of an Olympic thing. But even the Olympics, the actual Olympics knows, right? But I guess they don't really have the same kind of ecosystem. Remember, they did a Street Fighter 5 tournament that was like
when
when Street Fighter 6 was already out.
Yeah, that was a weird one, but I believe it was because of the original planning was during when Street Fighter 5 was out. But then I guess due to COVID, it kind of delayed. But then it was weird to like change the game completely because every time we discuss about Street Fighter every iteration of Street Fighter is a different game. It's just titled Street Fighter, and it has Street Fighter theme, but the core mechanic and the gameplay is very, very different to each other. So you can't not just replace, one to another. It's not like, imagine like there's gonna be chess 2, right?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be totally different to chess. It's like that,
Yeah, I think there's, like you said, Street Fighter games are kind of in their own categories.
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of like video games are kind of seen like that. And when there's a new game that comes out for a fighting game, usually what happens is whether you like it or not,
Right.
whether you like the new game or not, everyone's going along with it because that's where the support is.
Yeah.
And that's where
Usually the latest iteration, I guess.
yeah, the latest iteration. And I mean, there are people who are like, okay, I don't want to be a part of this new game. I'm just going to stick with the old games, and or they'll play a different game, right? But generally, like the whole, there's a movement towards the new game, which is kind of unstoppable. And so it's weird to see like an old game
Coming up as a
yeah, but it's not that it's an old game. Like, okay, so if the Olympics had like Third Strike, you know,
Right.
it would be like, oh, okay, that's an interesting thing that they're doing, right? But it was Street Fighter V right after Street Fighter 6 came out,
Yeah.
and I guess there is kind of that weird, like, whenever the new game's out, that's where the hype and excitement is, you know, however the game is received. But it is there's kind of a discrepancy there. But I think with the Esports World Cup, it does seem like it's more in line with kind of how you know the competitive gamers kind of envision this kind of thing, more or less, right?
Yeah,
There's it's not you know an old institution that's been doing something else for a long time. Esports World Cup it's called Esports World Cup, right? It's
Yes.
so I guess so. Why don't we just go into kind of your experience? I guess Saudi Arabia is kind of like one of those places that that you probably never expected to go to play
Video
like,
games.
Video games, yeah.
Right,
Like,
right.
and so I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't know what was it like when you landed? Was it
Yeah.
kind of what you imagined it would be, or was
So
it like
my expectation was very low. And for me as a foreigner to the country and you know, attempting to go there for the first time, obviously I like to do some studies before I go just to prepare myself. And during the past 5 years, like in conjunction with the period of the pandemic as well, from what I've studied, that the country has been through changes culturally and even through like things with law and everything, like the regulations.
Yeah,
They've
yeah.
been drastically been like updating things just
Okay.
to see the globals, just to try to reach the global standards, right?
Okay.
So like I'm not gonna hide the fact that yes, it's been through a lot of stereotypes for the people who haven't been there. For people who have been there also, they did make some comments that when they revisited recently, the whole hospitality and the culture and at least in the tourism aspect, it's been changed drastically.
Okay.
Yeah. So other than the fact the technology advancement is gonna be like so like fast, like
Yeah.
and of course it's expected for a country with you know a lot of wealth as well.
Sure.
When I was there, it's like other than just the visuals and the weather, it's like no different or maybe even more advanced than some of the current advanced countries that we visited for video games slash IT related things. So like say Korea and Japan is a good example, as well as some of the more IT structural advanced places in the US as well. Like things like mobile payments, like with the app.
Okay.
It's gone majority of the case it's cashless economy as well. So it's like card and mobile app is like really well integrated into the ecosystem. And even for the tourist, I went there, I had a concern: do I need to you know convert my currency with cash, whatever? I had the in Korea, people use there's multiple mobile apps for payment, and one of them is the Naver payment app, Naver Pay, and that integrates with the QR code thingy that I could just use there as well. So it's really easy for tourists to get there, and of course, I couldn't exactly find the closest tying with video games like once I arrived there, but I could immediately see advertisements on billboards, and even in the airport there's like the signs and everything that leads to Esports World Cup. It's like their biggest festival kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, going to the places like the hotel and the venue is no different to like our experiences, say, going to Vegas or whatever. Everything, like in terms of public transport, or like you could do Uber there. That's like the same as everywhere you go. Even Airbnb, if you wanted to. I went for the just easier option of the hotel that the website recommended me. But if you were to travel, like if you're going to like a major tournament in any other countries, it's no different.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess one of the things I was wondering was, it's there's definitely been a big effort in Saudi Arabia to modernize the economy, and like you said, there's the payment systems, and everything is done
Easily
with
accessible.
with the that's networked, and everything is online.
Even
And
deliveries, like food delivery, like no difference. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah, and I guess, do you feel that this is something that had come about like very rapidly and quickly, and you can kind of see at the
Yeah.
seams that there are signs of like where they just put stuff together in a quick way? Because I feel that that Saudi Arabia is pushing very quickly right
It
now,
is. It
and so
is.
I don't know if you noticed any of that kind of stuff, or was it very seamless? Did
So
it just feel like you
if
just
I
went to
were
Las Vegas for Evo or something like?
if I were to be brutally honest,
They're
like
both deserts, right?
it's definitely you can see in real time, quote unquote, that they are still building things.
Yeah.
And it's like as if you're like, think of as you're playing SimCity and you're dropped off in the middle of nowhere, but you can see the buildings being built.
Ah,
Right?
okay.
It's like a work in progress kind of city, right? So
Right.
obviously, if you are going to the usual, say the tournaments in the US or Japan or some of the well-established places already, it's like the place has like the buildings and the social life there and the shops and the housing. It's like already been there, and then the venue could be in the middle of somewhere there's a lot of foot traffic or whatever, right? But here it seemed like they built the things that will attract the people first, and
Okay.
rest of the things are still being built. That's how I experience it, right? So
Yeah.
airport, bam. Hotels, bam.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
venue, theme park, restaurants, everything there.
Yeah.
Everything in between is like still construction.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's that was my reality when I arrived there. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, okay, like this is how it is.
Yeah.
But it didn't deter me away to say that, oh, it's like it looks weird or anything. But of course, going to even if it wasn't esports related, going
Yeah.
to, let's say you arrive there for like a seminar or a convention or some sort of meeting that was going on, it's definitely foreign looking and foreign feeling as well.
Okay.
Because one, you can't stay away from the fact that it is one in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
And two, even with the studies that you had with of the things that you would be expecting, that even the internet says, oh yeah, it's like rapidly being advanced, things are being built, whatever. And in your mind, you'll be like, how bad could it be? And you're there, it's like, oh, it's everything that the internet told me is true. It's like, constructions everywhere, they're still going on. Even my hotel, I'm not gonna lie, I woke up to the crane and the construction workers,
Yeah.
all the heavy, the cranes and everything, or the machine noises. I woke up to that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they are very apparent. So I guess it will still take time for everything to be fully established. It's taking baby steps, but it's getting there. But at least that was just my tourist perspective.
Yeah.
But when I got to the Esports World Cup venue, then it's like, oh, okay, it's like any other kind of large convention venue.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've seen pictures and stuff, and people have sent me videos, and I guess one of the big things that people mention is like the heat that you feel, like the
Right.
desert heat that you feel once you get off the
Very
plane.
similar to Vegas.
Okay, yeah, and this is kind of funny because it's like, yeah, I mentioned, Las Vegas is also a desert too,
Right.
and so was there anything that that took a lot of getting used to. Do you feel that there was something that was just so foreign or unfamiliar,
Ah,
or was it really? Because everything that you're mentioning right now to me seems like it's just you. It was a very smooth experience, albeit built for that, right?
I might have got lucky, but if your only kind of goal for your existence there is to play, for me was to play Street Fighter, then it wasn't that different to me
Okay.
going to Evo.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So it is. It's very much.
If I was more of a, I want to go to Evo as well as sightsee the place, then it could be a little different.
Okay.
I guess you know how funnily enough we've compared the desert to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Which is obvious, but Vegas lately has been getting more humid than before.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a bit of humidity going on every time we're in Vegas, right?
Okay.
Next year, like a small tangent here. Next year, the date's gonna change to June because it was been
Yeah.
July and August all this time, and now it's moving back to June, so it might be slightly different. But in Riyadh, in Saudi Arabia, there's zero humidity,
Yeah.
zero, absolutely zero, and it's just literal dry. I could like have a shower, go out, I can get dry immediately. That's how dry it is.
Yeah.
It's like literal desert because you can still on the horizon see the sand. Yeah. You can see some of the mountains and the hills, but it's like literally sand. Which at the same time, when it's like sunset kind of hour, it looks very beautiful. But in like mid-afternoon, it's just like sand and sun. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
so dry that at one point I got to the venue too early, so they didn't open yet. So I was just walking around the vicinity for the venue to open.
Yeah.
By the way, I'll tell you about this later as well. Their kind of daily life cycle and the weekly life cycle, the concept of the start and end of the working hours and the start and end of the leisure hours are a little different, even the days.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
it's kind of based around the heat because at
Yeah.
night, in a desert climate, at night it's actually quite.
It's more
nice.
lively,
Yeah,
yeah.
and so I imagine that they probably do stuff activities late into the night.
So the difference I will mention is usually if we know like Evo or some of the major tournaments, you know how we talk about the infamous 9 a.m. pools or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So we're expected to turn up at least in the morning until the night. But that's kind of the culture for the FGC tournaments because it runs multiple events, multiple tournaments, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't like that in this case because it's only focused on one game at this time. And as well as even if it wasn't just focused on one game, the venue opens at 4 p.m.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a big difference.
So my kind of getting up in the morning, like the habit, you would say like a habit or just a normal lifestyle has kind of, it's not an excuse that I lost, but has ruined my conditioning, right?
Okay.
Because I would wake up like say like naturally, not without an alarm, like 8 or 9 a.m. because that's just how it is, like everyday life. Even if you're not playing fighting games, you're just going to 9 to 5 work or whatever at your hometown. 8 or 9 a.m. in the morning is a reasonable time to wake up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wake up and I realize the venue opens at 4. I'm like, huh? What the hell do I do? I was like immediately lost, right?
Yeah.
And then I got to the venue thinking that maybe if I just like kind of walk around the vicinity, I could probably just check out the place, the nearby places before the venue opens, right? I was so wrong. I go there, there's nothing in the vicinity.
Oh man.
Just desert and construction, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of like, and it's like 45 degrees Celsius in like complete dryness. I was just walking around. I mean, I'm kind of exaggerating, of course. There is like some, because it is Esports World Cup, there are some touristy shops and like the cafes around the area as well. So I did kind of go there to just chill for a bit. But 80% of when I say there's nothing in desert is true.
Okay.
So yeah, because the venue starts at 4, like my kind of, I'm also one of those people who loves to keep promises, right? If someone says get here at like 4, I will go there like 3:40. so
Yeah.
that I could be ready. So my habit of going there early kind of also ruined my condition, and I played really bad that day. That's my
That's not
second
an
excuse.
That's not an excuse, though, right?
Yeah, but
You're just saying that was just
yeah.
what was
But
the facts.
because it was my first time there, like, I try to do things that I would do at other events, but it was very different because one, the place is a venue, but at the same time it's a very heavily guarded slash no, you cannot do any like peek, even like peek in the venue because it's like heavily secured, I would say,
Yeah.
with all the security guards and everything. Two, and it's like a theme park. It's like a village, but a theme park at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's like souvenir stores and food court and all that stuff out in the open. It wasn't
Yeah.
like a single building; it was like multiple buildings.
Okay.
And yeah, everywhere is heavily guarded by security. If you don't have the pass to go to this building, this particular building, you cannot go in. If you're a player for this playing in this building, you can only access there in between certain hours. For a highly privileged event, it is. I could feel the atmosphere that okay, they put in a lot of money into this because everything is like all the security guards and like they were doing everything like the textbook way, like no shortcuts, no nothing. Like you have to follow by the rules, their rules, and you have to abide by that kind of thing. So it's like a
I mean, it could also be a cultural thing too.
all that
I
too.
imagine,
I
right?
believe, yeah, they're very strict on everything, and it was a lesson learned. It was. I'm not saying that I had a bad experience. It's like, oh, okay, so this is how they play, right?
Yeah.
And also, yeah, it's not a multi-fighting game tournament where it's like open for everyone. So it was definitely not a convention, I would say.
Yeah, you joined the
yeah.
last chance qualifier though, so
Just
that
the
is an
LCQ.
open. That is open though, right?
Yes,
But
that's the open tournament that you can enter without paying the entry fee. Everywhere else, there's an entry fee for something.
Oh, okay. Wait, so the LCQ you can just play in. Anybody can just go.
They kept the spirit of the open bracket, and for one, it is I think it's managed by Jabali. So
okay.
I believe he has pushed the team that in order to keep the open tournament spirit alive.
Nice.
It has to be like quote unquote really open tournament, like wherever you go, right?
Yeah.
And of course, there are, even for open tournaments, if it's a major tournament, there's always an entry fee. But in this LCQ scenario, I think they purposely didn't do an entry fee kind of thing.
They want to encourage people to come join.
It was more of an
Yeah.
encouragement for everybody to join, and as well as I think their main goal is to have more people visit the country. That's the ultimate goal, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then on the plus side, if you are a fan of esports in general, you can just pay like a day pass to be in the spectator seat for a certain esport that they play on the day, because it's like the whole thing is like almost like a month. Right, it's like a lot of games being played, and there's a schedule for every game, and usually it's all the pro players, right? That's in the venue. I didn't really get to see much overseas spectators. It was more the local spectators.
Local spectators,
So
yeah.
that's how it is. It is only on its third year, and a lot of people are slowly coming in to be just as a spectator, but usually within the venue, it's 90% mix of the local people, and probably 10% of the staff and the actual players being in the theme park. And all.
Yeah. I guess it is kind of a top-down approach, right? It's not like a grassroots. This started in a basement somewhere or in a garage. This is like, all right, we have a ton of budget that we're gonna put into this so that we can build this up really quickly and make a big thing out of it. But I feel that like with these kinds of things, it does take a long time. It doesn't always have the expected returns, right? Because if you look at something like Evo wasn't profitable for many, many years.
Yeah.
And so these kind of things, like I guess there is kind of a culture that has to grow from it, right? And this is kind of the downsides of having any kind of top-down project. I mean, it can work, right? But it's like
It's lucky that we're looking at it from the FGC's perspective, right? Because if it was any other esport title, people like me would be scared to go because like there's no chance of you being on the big stages, right?
Yeah.
But as an FGC perspective and FGC player, because of the LCQ opportunity, people like me can go and have a chance to be at the big stage, which did happen. Because for both Tekken, Fatal Fury, and Street Fighter, they had LCQs for X amount of spots to be filled in.
Yeah.
And they can play for that day and then be on the stage for the rest of the week.
Okay.
If they were good enough to, qualify for it. So I think that's a blessing that we have as an FGC kind of ecosystem that's we're part of.
I guess this is kind of why it seems Jabali pushed for the LCQ in at the EWC because it is really kind of the final vestige of like the open bracket World Warrior system, right? We kind of talked about this in other podcasts about how this kind of system is kind of disappearing. A lot of the OG tournaments have disappeared, and there's all sorts of other kinds of tournaments right now, but like the open bracket major tournaments is kind of that's being that's being left to like Evo now and CEO Combo Breaker, the big ones, right? And so it's good to see that they have that at the EWC, because if they didn't have that, you probably wouldn't have gone, right? You wouldn't be able to play.
It would have been
a
privileged spot to be in, and you would have to be already qualified to be there. Would have, I wouldn't have, like for me, if the LCQ wasn't a thing, then I would never even dream to even go there. Right? I would not even attempt to go there.
Yeah.
So I feel blessed in that way where I at least got to experience it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that. That's a very interesting experience. And
That being said, for our listeners and viewers, if you are an enthusiast in the FGC, have some spare funds to go. I treated it like a holiday.
Yeah.
And another thing is you probably have to like kind of book your travel for at least 3 or 4 nights.
Yeah.
If you want to be part of the spectator experience as well.
Okay.
And if you do qualify, they book you a hotel and extend your flight as well, because they will need to keep you for another week. So that's another perk if you do qualify. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. And I guess eventually Saudi Arabia as a country, I mean, they're already doing it. They are starting some tournaments that are open bracket for international players also. So Saudi Arabia could easily be another checkpoint for some of the international tournament goers as well.
Yeah,
so.
that's interesting, because I think one of their goals is to bring people from other countries. This is their whole initiative, right?
Sure.
It's kind of and they're doing it through esports. But if the thing about like something like Evo in Las Vegas is that it's a destination city and a location, and it kind of like these kind of things often do go hand in hand with the tourism aspect, right? Because like you said, you were kind of going also to double as like, well, I've never been to this country. I want to see what it's like. And I think that's for a lot of the FGC that has been traveling all over the world for these tournaments.
Yeah.
Whether they're players or content creators, or pros or amateurs or spectators.
Yeah.
It's
just fan of esports in general.
It's kind of a thing for people to travel. And I guess that's kind of the spirit of the Olympics. Olympics has been like that, right?
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where historically it's been like, oh, yes, our city got the Olympics. This is awesome. Right. Oh shit, we got to like start cleaning up and spending a lot of money on infrastructure.
Yeah.
And then they build this massive infrastructure to host it, but then like they have all this kind of like stadiums and stuff that they can't really use for too many other things.
That was the sad truth, that some of the facilities do get abandoned if it doesn't get maintained well, right?
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia, like I do have that initial concern as well, because I'm just curious what that whole it's not just a few buildings or stadiums. It was a whole village scale. So I'm just wondering what happens if they're not running anything during
Yeah.
this, because within the food court is like all the famous brands like McDonald's, KFC, Domino's, yeah, and some of the local brands as well, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what happens like when there's no events here? Do they like just not turn up? Like, did they really buy McDonald's rights and the lookalikes for 3 weeks? Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
obviously I'm exaggerating,
Yeah.
but like as a first time visitor, that's my thought, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
if I do
this
some
is
more research, I guess they do have some things going on even with there's no events, but
Yeah, this is
yeah.
kind of like the thing you talked about, your analogy to SimCity, right? A little bit,
Mm.
and it's kind of like, if you do a cheat code where you can have all the money that you want, whatever, and you start with
That's
a
how
lot
it
of money,
feels,
yeah,
yeah.
you just start building stuff. Like I want a McDonald's here, boom.
Yeah.
I want a KFC, boom. Like I want a electronics store here, and then you can just kind of like start building it. Whereas if it's built from ground up, you kind of have this. You only get what you need. And you only spend money and expand once you get that money, first of
Right.
all, and the thing is actually working, right? You can't expand unless you go out of pocket, but you can't do that forever, right? So it's kind of like when you're building from ground up, you're just kind of focused on what's most important, and then you build your way all the way up, right? So the top down versus bottom up approach is
Yeah,
you can
it's like-
definitely see the difference, and I think
What's
yeah,
an opposite word for grassroots, you reckon?
or grassroots. I think I'm saying
Tree top or
top
something?
down. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's a
I don't
good,
know. Like if you want to be like if you want to like diss the thing, you can say like corporate or whatever. Or but or
I gotta say, I'm that kind of person where of course I did try the local cuisine, but I'm that sucker who did go to the Saudi McDonald's.
oh, what was it? The Saudi McDonald's. What
It
was
was
their thing?
actually godlike.
Really?
Yeah.
What was their menu item that
They
had
did
that?
have a Arabic style burger,
Okay.
which I did try, was pretty cool, but it was just. I'll be fair, give you an honest review.
Yeah.
Don't get that because you rather get the local cuisine. And
Okay.
if you're gonna go McDonald's at anywhere, just get the menu that you are used to.
Okay.
Right?
Well, you said it was godlike though.
It was godlike in that sense. I just got the I tried the Big Mac because I have to compare.
Okay.
Their Big Mac size
Yeah.
is what I remembered back in the
original
early
Big Mac.
2000s.
Yeah, they shrunk the Big Mac.
You know
didn't they?
the
Yeah.
Big Macs if you get now? I just thought the illusion is that my hands got bigger, so the burger size is smaller, right?
No, they shrunk it.
But it's both. Both are true. My hand did get bigger,
yeah.
and they shrunk it. That's the McDonald's that we know now in
Okay.
America or even in Korea, right?
Yeah.
I go to the EWC version of McDonald's. It's the gigantic Big Mac that I remember.
Really?
And it's cheaper than the American Big Mac,
Yeah.
cost wise.
Wow. So I've never heard. So I've heard like the quality is different in different countries.
It is.
I know like Japan is like known for really good like the quality, and I think the Scandinavian countries have very good like buns and like
Yeah.
But I didn't know that there were places where the actual product was bigger, like the old school
Oh my
style.
god! And they even had this. I don't think anywhere else have this menu. So they have this thing called a double. No. They have a menu called Big Tasty. That's literally the name of the menu. Big Tasty Burger, and it has a chicken version and the beef version, right? And if you are ever going to EWC or Saudi Arabia McDonald's, get the Big Tasty Burger. Both the chicken and the beef version is great. By the way, because it is a religious country, they don't really have much beef options. But if you were to, and a lot of them are chicken, right? Or
Yeah.
any other brands, they're usually focused on the chicken diet, right? But if you go to McDonald's, they will have like a proper halal beef burger that if you're craving for beef.
Yeah.
So McDonald's is a good option to go if you are craving for some fast food.
Yeah, well, that's really convenient.
Yeah.
If you're
Quality,
if you're a devout Muslim, that's a very
so good.
convenient thing. Because I remember like when the Pakistani crew came to Korea to play in the '77. That was
So many check boxes.
Yeah,
to
we
fill.
were like, it was like coex at midnight.
Yeah.
The tournament was over. We're like trying to show these people some Korean food. And so like, obviously, like it has to be halal, but then it's like, okay, halal Korean food, like that's not really like very available in Korea. So like we went to Kimbap Jungkook, which was,
And we have to take the beef out of the kimbap or something.
yeah,
right?
but it was like it wasn't like, it wasn't ideal. This is kind of like a was it how would you describe Kimbap Jungkook? It's like a cheap food place for Korean
it's like
food.
a pizza joint for like if you're in New York, or it's like a shawarma like or a sandwich place kind of thing if you're from a Western country.
Yeah, but it's like low tier. Like it's like the cheapest you can
It's
get.
it's like Denny's.
Yeah.
Of
but see, even like Denny's is still like I don't know. Kimbap
or
Jungkook's not quite
IHOP
there
or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Kimbap Jungkook is not at that level.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like I don't know if we can. Yeah, it's
we're kind of romanticizing about the cheaper brands, but like we're not like saying anything different. It's actually the cheaper, the ones that's only left if you have no option.
Yeah.
At midnight kind of thing.
Yeah. It was there's 24 hours, so it was something. It was awesome that there was something there.
But you
otherwise
can't
we would have
expect
starved.
high quality food.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, that's a lot of talk about food.
Long story short, I think majority of the EWC funds went to food to make sure that the visitors are welcome. That's how I felt.
Oh.
So they didn't have to work. Although everything else was top tier too, they had the whole building was covered by LED screens.
Yeah.
So everywhere you turn is something that you see differently. There's like videos and everything of the highlights being played on the walls of the building. They have lasers and lights and high quality sound system, broadcasting,
Amazing.
Everything is top tier in and outside.
Yeah.
But I think they had the homework of, if we have foreign visitors, make sure they're happy. I tried their Domino's, I tried their KFC, I tried their McDonald's. Oh my God. I thought the Japanese ones were good and high quality and good tasting. Japan's fast food just became second place to me.
What?
Saudi fast food. Saudi's American fast food brand, top tier in my heart.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I'm not exaggerating.
Okay,
both the quality of the food, the portion, as well as the price.
Okay.
Was like, oh my God. I love the local cuisine, yes. But if you're a fast food sucker like me, you'll never be disappointed at the EWC food court.
All right. There you have it. So, that's making me hungry. I think we should go get lunch now. But
there's more to share, but I'll definitely come back with more stories in the future episode with some of our guests. But my first time visiting there, just for esports, I would give it, say, 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
If I would, I don't have any reviews as a tourist or a business person, but as a fan of esports, fan of Street Fighter, definitely 4 out of 5 star experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. Definitely, I'm gonna have to try to make it over there one of these times. Maybe not this one, but definitely see. It'd be interesting to see some of my friends out there. In the heat, we can all.
Also,
I
do want to add to this. I actually met up and met with the local FGC who watches our podcast.
Oh, really?
So there are subscribers and Patreons.
Okay, amazing.
So I'm like, holy crap, you guys know me? I had that experience there too, which was really, really thankful.
Yeah.
Really grateful. And I was going to do one quick interview with the locals, but I just got too busy. But if I have a future opportunity, I'll definitely go, or even through online, we could probably have a guest from the local talents there, and as well as like guys like Latif. He's very popular. So,
definitely. I'd love to. We have guests lined up already.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to hear your stories, and I need to get out to some
one
of these
day
places.
It'll be if we do ever go there, it'll be a good opportunity. Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for catching this episode, and see you guys next time.
Peace.